welcome to today's Business Unzipped podcast. I am really excited to welcome Gemma Souter. Gemma is a hair and makeup artist and specialises in weddings. Hello and welcome.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
I'm so excited to have you on because we actually have done a couple of weddings together. Yes. I did some assisting for you years ago when you have a big bridal party, so I'm actually super excited to get you on to talk to you. So before we get into it, just tell me why and how you got into the wedding hair and makeup business. Okay,
so I started off not as a hairdresser at all. I started off with children, looking after children years ago. I was a nursery nurse, manager of a nursery, and then I got to a manager of a nursery and decided I just didn't want to do. I didn't see the kids really, so I was like, and I'm not a paperwork kind of person, so I just decided to become a hairdresser. So that's 20 years ago now, and I still do hairdressing. So then I just decided, I think the hair up side of things and wedding things just came naturally because I used to dance. So I've always been self-taught really with hair up and everything. So I just went straight into weddings. And then I did the makeup probably 15 years ago. So, because more and more people were just asking to have makeup as well. So, yeah.
Is there one that you prefer over the other?
Well, everyone asks me this. I think if you told me, made me make a decision, it would be hair.
Yeah.
But I love just natural makeup. Like when someone comes to me, they don't wear makeup and make them look like the best version of them, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So.
Because you do airbrushing, don't you? Which I love.
Yeah.
Because it just is flawless.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And weddings is challenging because it is such a big deal for the bride. Do you ever feel the pressure?
No, not
you
really.
Don't. No. See, because obviously I used to do it as well, and I would literally just the night before just be crippled with anxiety that I would forget my brushes, or I would drop something on someone's dress, or I would be at the wrong venue or anything. But is that just because you're used to doing it?
Yeah, I think so. The most weddings I've done is I think I've done 93 in a year, so I average between 70 and 80 a year at the moment. So I just think I've seen it all, so it doesn't faze me really, no. And because you have the trial first and things, you meet the bride, so sometimes you have bridesmaids or mums that are a little bit tricky, but I don't know. It doesn't faze me at all.
What's the ratio between those that have a trial and haven't? Because some are just completely blasé and they're like, no, I'll just see you on the day.
Very well. To be fair, I probably get about 3 or 4 a year. Not a lot. Yeah. To be fair, so it's usually people that don't live nearby or just are that laid back. Yeah. And then, I think if they don't want a trial, they can't be super fussy.
That's true. That's so true.
They have to just go with it. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah. So,
do you still remember doing your very first wedding?
I think I know who my first wedding was. Yeah, I think I remember. It was obviously just hair back then. And I do. Obviously, the styles are totally different these days to what they were back then. But,
I know. And how do you keep up with the changing trends? Because it sort of ebbs and flows. Sometimes it's there was a period where everyone wanted their hair down with waves, and that in itself comes with challenges because not every hair can hold that. But how do you keep up with it all?
So I've over the years completely niched down. So I do more the boho, the waves, the soft kind of styles now, which I hope get across on my website and my Instagram and things. Because so hopefully brides will come to me and want the same thing, sort of thing. So although I can do the other styles, I prefer to do the more soft styles and things like that. So you just look at inspiration of what's out there and things. My mum made me laugh. She said to me, "Oh, you always do the same hairstyle, on Instagram or whatever." And I'm like, exactly. That's what I'm supposed to. That's my niche. That's what I'm for noticing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you find that you connect with other professionals? Is it helpful?
No, it's I work with a lot of girls that come and help me and I help them. Yeah, it's nice. I feel like there's no competition as such. Like, everyone is nice to each other, kind of thing, and there for each other. So there's loads of us out there.
There is.
Literally.
There is. Yeah. But if you build a nice community, like you say, if you're ever stuck and you need someone to assist you, particularly for the bigger parties, then that's really helpful. And then you build that sort of trust as well, because it's particularly when it's your own business, if you're having other people work with you, they're almost carrying your name as well. So you just have to be so careful.
Yeah, definitely.
What's the worst wedding? Tell me.
I could write a book. There's been lots of crazy. But like I say, a lot of it was years ago. Like, because I kind of know, probably from the first email now, if that's my kind of bride or not, kind of thing. But yeah, I have had some crazy brides, and big weddings. I had last year, I think I had 16 bridesmaids. So, and the bride, obviously I didn't do it all.
Wow. That's a big one.
But organising 16 bridesmaids and a bride was interesting.
Yeah.
It all went well. But
from my personal experience, when I used to do it, I would always find that one or two bridesmaids were always worse than the bride.
100%.
I don't know whether they're trying to sort of compensate for the bride being chilled and just making sure that everything's perfect, but I always find that they were worse and the bride was actually lovely. Always.
And like, sometimes they're like faffing and the bride's like, why are they not doing, no one's listening to me, or like she'll be like, can someone give me this, and then suddenly they're all doing their own thing and I'm like, I'll do it, I'll go and get you that, because they're just not listening and they're thinking themselves, or they're it's just they're open. The bride's normally fine, to be fair. It is normally a bridesmaid or a mum, always. But yeah, I'm pretty good at trying to
do everything
control
and
it,
everything.
But yeah, no, definitely.
What's the favourite part of going to a wedding and getting them ready?
I love, on a wedding morning, my favourite part is the reveal. Like, because normally I help the bride get dressed, just because no one can do a dress up. Although
it's a skill in its own. It's hard.
And although they've obviously been taught or whatever, they literally fall apart and they're like, oh my God, I don't know how to do it. And also at that point, they're very much wrapped up in themselves, the mum or the bridesmaids as well. And like, they don't want to get under a dress once they've had their hair and makeup done and start faffing and things. So I normally will get her dressed, and then it's a reveal to the parents or the bridesmaids. That's kind of my favourite thing when they're all done. So
I love that.
Yeah,
I love that, because it is really special and it is quite intimate, because you're there at their most sort of vulnerable state when they're getting ready. Yeah, it's rewarding. It's such a lovely job, and and I feel like my job is to keep the bride calm, and I get told all the time how calm I am and how I can. Yeah, I'm like, are you okay? They're like, yeah, because you're okay. I'm okay. And I'm like, that's good. Do you know what? When we did a wedding together, you did it to me. You probably won't remember, but I can't remember where we went, but the bridesmaid literally had hair, I swear it was down to the back of her knees. It was so long, and she just sat down, and I was like, and you were like, it's okay, you carry on with the hair. I was like, oh gosh, it's fine. It was mental. But yeah, no, it is a very special part of someone's day.
Yeah, it is. It's amazing.
So the fact that you have that sort of calming influence will be really helpful, because it is pure chaos behind the scenes, isn't it? Yeah,
definitely. I literally did a wedding yesterday, and they were like, oh, the flowers here, this cake here, is it? And then someone went, there's so much that happens on a wedding morning, like, to bring it all together. I'm like, yeah, absolutely. And obviously the bride doesn't really leave the getting ready room or wherever she's getting ready, so she can't see anything because she has to rely on everyone. So then she's quite anxious, so you have to be there for her, really. You have to be like, it's okay, it's going to be fine. Like, someone to take a photo and bring it across and show you and things like that. So, yeah.
What were you like on your wedding day?
Totally fine. We went to Canada, just did it, just me and my husband. No one came with us. So, obviously, I do it all the time. I didn't want to do it here. Always wanted to go to Canada. So we, literally, people knew we were doing it. But just, we went out there, and so we got ready together. I FaceTimed my sister in the morning whilst I was doing my makeup, check I look alright. And then, it was fine. And I think it was just So I had some buttons on the back of my dress, and I said to my husband, "Does my bra show?" Like, no, it's fine. And then the wedding planner came in, and she was like, "Your bra shows," and I was like, "Thank God, there's a woman here." Like that, and it was literally, and I was cool, absolutely cool, until the wedding planner knocked on the hotel room door, and then I was like, "Oh my God, I'm getting married." Like, and we'd been together 13 years when we got married, so. But yeah, it was so relaxed. We literally went down to the reception, met the photographer, the videographer, and the commissioner, they're called, not registrars. And then we wandered around Lake Louise and just found somewhere to get married and just did it.
See, that's how chill you are. Yeah, that is amazing. How chill you are. That's so cool.
Like on the morning, I remember walking around Lake Louise in the morning, and I said to my husband, like, "I've got no idea what I'm doing to my hair and my makeup." And he was like, "What?" He was like, "You do this all the time." And I was like, "Yeah, I know. Be fine."
That's why I don't know what to do on my own.
Exactly.
That's
but yeah,
crazy.
It was fine. And then we just had a big party when we came home.
That is so
great. I loved it.
Oh my gosh. So you still do hairdressing and you do the weddings. Are you going to carry on doing both?
My clients are listening. Hairdressing, I would love to stop.
Yeah.
It's hard. But yeah, like I've cut it down to 3 days a week hairdressing because I was doing 7-day weeks. So crazy busy. I basically got poorly. So I've cut it to 3 days. If I had a choice, I would just do weddings.
Yeah.
But it's your bread and butter, the hairdressing, really. So although I have a lot of weddings every year, you can't guarantee what's going to come in. So, and obviously being self-employed, you kind of need to.
Yeah. And hairdressing's quite a funny thing, isn't it? Because people get attached to their hairdresser because they trust that you'll do it right for them.
And
so
I like,
quite hard.
And I go in their houses and do it there. So I'm freelance, so I go to their houses, and I've been with most of them 20 years.
Yeah.
So I've been to their weddings. I've been like, do you know what I mean? I've been through everything with them, seen their children grow up. So yeah, it's hard. Even when I cut down my hours and like put my prices up and things like that, I was petrified. But they've all stayed with me. They've all been brilliant. But they're like, don't leave. But I'm like, oh, it's hard.
Yeah, you can't do it all because you will burn yourself out.
I know you do. Yeah, you do have to think of yourself, which I'm learning as I'm getting older.
Because it's not just doing it. Like you say, if you're self-employed, you've got all of the paperwork, you've got all of the admin side, which is a lot, isn't it?
It's so much now. And it's so much more because you have to be visible, like especially like Instagram, social media. You have to be, because a lot of my clients now, well, my brides will come through Instagram, on my website, or so yeah, it is a lot more. It's a lot hard work. I find, especially social media, I find really hard, really hard, because you have to just be on it all the time and be visible, basically.
Yep.
And then behind the scenes, you've also then got all your accounts, all your schedules for all your brides, all your there's a lot. It's not, you just don't rock up and do hair and makeup, so you know that. There's like so much behind the scenes that you have to do, and emails, and it's like, some brides will give you one email, some brides will give you 20.
Yeah. I know. Your Instagram has grown loads recently, and it looks so sleek. I'm obsessed with it. How? Why? What happened?
So I got a business coach.
Yeah.
And basically she's taught me how to sell really through Instagram, and I've just learned different ways of doing stuff, and also just speaking to my brides rather than just sticking a picture up and going, nice bride today. You've got to, and when I started changing it, lots of people did comment on it, which is good.
I think it's habit as well, isn't it? Because I have all these great ideas for like what I want to do on social media, and then I completely forget to actually like set the camera up, and even that in itself, it just takes so much time.
I mean, like the amount of like little pictures or videos I've got where I've started someone's hair, I'll start videos, and then I finish the hair and I'm like, oh, I didn't take any in between or any at the end, and then you're just like, brilliant. And it's another thing, another level you have to think about, And then the time, and then you get a bit of imposter syndrome where you're a bit like, oh, should I put it up? Should I not put it up? But yeah, you kind of have to.
You should always put it up.
I know. You have to just try and
Always.
push through it, really, don't you? And just be like, no, it's fine. But yeah. So yeah.
Do you still do wedding fairs?
So I haven't for a long, long time, but I've just started again because, again, my business coach was saying it's a good way to basically collect data and because if you think like Instagram, like if you lost Instagram, you lose everyone, don't you? So you need people's emails and things like that. So I kind of do it for that as well. So yeah, I've probably done 3 this year so far. So, and also it's a nice way to connect with other suppliers. It really is. Yeah. It is. Venues. Yeah, because I think a lot of it, especially the wedding industry now, is all about who you know as well. And like I had a bride last week, and a florist recommended me to her and things. So yeah, you do have to be out there, really. So so I will start doing more now, I think.
Do you think that the hair and makeup industry is scalable? So I know, like, for me, one of the reasons why I took a step back is because I got to the point where I really wanted to grow it by using other people, so that I could occasionally have a Saturday off or something. But I just didn't feel like it was working. So do you think it is scalable, or do you think people are paying for you?
So this is my thing at the moment. Like I've been told I should start building a team, but I'm finding it really hard because it is my name at the end of the day. And I've seen lots of other people do it, and I've worked on teams before as well. And obviously never had an issue, and other people aren't having an issue. But I think it can be done, but you've got to be able to sell those people, and they've got to me, this is what I'm arguing with myself at the moment. I would want to train every person that was on my team, because I am controlling. I'm kind of laid back but controlling at the same time. When it comes to my work, like I would want them to do exactly, because I do think people will come to me for my work. So then I can't send someone else that isn't like doing exactly the same as me, basically. So
you need to clone yourself.
Yeah, basically. I know, it would be amazing, wouldn't it? But I am literally turning so many weddings away. So for me, that is the next step. But I'm just not in my head there yet, if you see what I mean.
It's really hard, because it is your reputation, and it is someone's wedding, so there's pressure there.
Exactly. And like I say, people will come to me for me, but so you've got to send someone else that's going to be just the same kind of thing. So that's my next thing.
That's exciting.
It is, but it isn't. It's like, it is, but it's like, I'm just a bit, I don't know. I've been talking about it for probably 6 months, so I haven't done it yet.
Get on with it.
I'm like, oh,
you can do it. You can do it.
It is. It's hard, but we'll see. But then also I could start doing education, so then I could get those people
at colleges.
Well, just anyone that wants to
learn the industry.
So because a lot of hairdressers can't do hair up and things.
Because when you are taught hairdressing, it literally is colouring and cutting, isn't it? You're not taught.
I got up. We had our hair up was a French plie and a French plat, which I literally did on my first day at college. I passed it, and that was it. That's all it is. So so that's it's either that I'm either going to go down the education route. Which then I could build a team from that if I could see anyone good enough. Or team. I don't know.
That's exciting.
It is exciting. It's really exciting. It's just getting out of my head a bit.
And I think it's difficult, because if you are so busy actually doing your hairdressing and your weddings, you actually need that time to invest, enable for it to grow. It's really hard, isn't it? Exactly. Finding that time.
Like I need like a PA or VA
and a social media.
That's what I need.
You need a content creator. You need a PA.
But again, it's letting go and letting someone do all that for me.
Which
I'm not good at.
No.
But equally, I can't claim myself, can I? So
Yeah. So is that your next step? Is that what you want to do? What's next for you?
Yeah, that's what, in an ideal world, once I get my head around it all, yeah, would be either education or a team or both, depending. But it's hard. It's like I'm so busy as well, so it's having the time to do it all as well, putting it all together, kind of thing.
And do you struggle to actually, or are you good at it now? But in the beginning, I know I was awful, being worried about taking time off for yourself, because then you're not having the bookings, particularly in like the summer holidays when most people would want a holiday. You're like, no, it's my busiest time. I could never. Are you good at that or not?
No, I'm terrible. Always, because like people was like, I'm probably every weekend now booked up till probably near the end of the year. Like, and then people like my girlfriends would be like, oh, should we go out on this Saturday? And I'm like, no, because I've got, and everything's arranged around me because of that, and I'm terrible at that. And like even with my husband, he's like, oh, I've booked all this time off, and I will provisionally book it, but then I'm like, if we're not going anywhere, I'm going to take a wedding, which sounds awful, but it's because I'm self-employed as well. And when you're self-employed, I think you work so much harder.
Yes.
Because you're getting the rewards from it, aren't you?
Yeah.
So I'm not great. I'd say I'm a bit better than I was.
Yeah.
And I'm better at saying no to things that I don't want to do now.
Yeah.
I'd say, whereas I used to do like any wedding, any bride. Whereas, yeah, I'm a bit like I don't really want or need to kind of thing. So I am better at that, but yeah, I'm not great at giving myself a lot of time off.
Yeah, you need it though, because otherwise, like you say, you will get poorly and you burn yourself out.
Yeah.
So what would you say is your favourite thing about being a wedding hair and makeup artist?
My favourite thing, I just like especially the bride, just from start to finish, just transforming them basically. That's what I love. And just meet such amazing people, and like, you know, on the wedding morning the conversations are hilarious sometimes, like literally.
You know everything by the end of that morning.
I think being a hairdresser you do anyway, but yeah, you do. I just love meeting people and just making them look beautiful. So
what's the hardest part?
Hardest part is being self-employed, just doing all the behind the scenes that no one sees. Like my husband says, oh, you just chat all day. I'm like, I don't just chat all day.
If only.
Like, I actually do stuff. That's the hardest bit, and the like imposter syndrome kind of things like that. Just, and I remember, obviously I've been doing it 20 years, but I remember I know now by October I'm usually quite quiet in general with hairdressing and weddings at the beginning of the year. So then I used to really freak out. Yeah. But now obviously I know, so I will save money for those things and things like that, those times. But yeah, that's the hardest part, is probably all more the paperwork behind the scenes, that kind of stuff, unless you have a difficult bride. But
they're far and few between. But when they're there, it's hard work. So for those that are sort of aspiring to do this as a career, what advice would you give them?
Well, practice massively when it comes to especially makeup, I think.
Oh my god, I cringe when I look back at the pictures of my very first one. I was like, that is awful. I cannot believe I actually charged someone for that. It's horrendous.
And I'm like, I say to people, like, practice is the main thing, just because you have so many different people, so many different faces in front of you. So don't just get all your pretty, lovely young friends. Like, get your mum, get your nan, because you're going to have to deal with all different skin tones, textures, everything, like things like that. So, and again, I mean, I find hair easy, whereas I know a lot of people don't find hair easy, but again, practice with that. And then assist people. Just get as much behind as you can, really, you as you can. And then the more you do, the more you're going to just get better at it and build yourself up that way.
Yeah, it's confidence as well as skill, isn't it?
Yeah, because on a wedding morning you literally come face to face with anything, really. and you've got to be able to be like, okay, that's fine, we can do that, or we can do like literally, like I've done everything on a wedding morning. I've put shoes on, put dresses on, I've pierced a nan's ear. I know.
okay, I wasn't expecting that.
Literally, I've got a dog dressed. I've done everything. So you've got to be quite flexible and quite like not too flapping and worrying. Because if you're flapping, can't. Your bride's flapping.
Yeah.
So
I remember the worst one for me was I had a bride and she was having her hen do the weekend before her wedding, which now, it used to be quite common, but back, now it's normally like a month before. And she texted me when she got back a picture, and basically she'd got into an accident and she had a black eye. Yeah. And when I say a black eye, it was black. Yeah. And she was like, what can we do? And I was like, wow. So you're right, you actually need the skill to be able to do anything, including black eyes.
Sometimes they won't even tell you until you turn up and you're like, oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. Like literally, I had a bridesmaid exactly the same. She didn't tell the bride because she was too scared to until the morning.
Oh my God. I'm so fortunate she did tell me. And I matched the foundation that we'd trialled her with, and then I made sure that I also had it. We ended up using a tattoo cover-up once. It was really thick, so it managed to cover it up. But it is so important.
You literally have to be, and on a wedding morning, give yourself enough time. I always have an hour at the end, like once hair and makeup's done, for them to get dressed and everything, because you never have that hour, because people faff. People do. No one's on time, and things like that. So you do need to really think about your timings as well. So
but it's rewarding, and you would recommend it.
Yeah, I love it, absolutely love it. Yeah, I can't imagine me not doing anything else really. Like,
good. Well, we look forward to seeing your business grow.
Thanks.
We're going to hold you to account now because you've said it on a podcast, so you've got to do it now. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.